Welcome into the Sports Objective. We appreciate everyone tuning in, and however you're watching or listening, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or, of course, audio only, pretty much anywhere podcasts are found, including but not limited to Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, SoundCloud, and Spotify. It is game week, and we're here 3 days from first pitch, and very excited right now on our NCD1 baseball preview. Last but certainly not least, the head coach of the Western Carolina Catamounts. Glad to have this guy back on the program, Bobby Moranda. Coach, how are things up in Cullowhee this morning?
Great. Beautiful day. Just out on the field. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think we're going to be like high 50s today, so that's good. We'll take it.
Yeah, no doubt. And, a lot of very long tenures around the state of North Carolina, you being one of those at your current school there, Western Carolina, so much baseball tradition, as we had East Carolina know because of Keith LeClaire, of course, and we know Coach LeClaire is held in such high regard throughout the college baseball community, and obviously there to his alma mater. But Coach, a season ago, 28-21, pretty solid year, and a step back in the direction where you want the program to go.
Well, we had a really good year going, and then, our entire starting rotation went down. That was a little bit of an adjustment. I think we lost like 9 of 11 right when that happened. And then we had some relievers really step up at the end of the season and made a run, the last weekend of the last couple weekends, I guess, of the conference regular season, and then into the tournament, where we lost on Championship Sunday. So yeah, we feel like, we have like, I guess, 93% of our guys back, and, we feel good about our club.
If you would, just going into this season, let's start off. Let's take a look at things, beginning with the infield and, what returns, what may be coming in that has a chance to play early.
Well, I think our infield starts with, Pass. Our shortstop, Pass Ferreras. Pascal is a very special player. He's a freshman All-American last year. He led our league in home runs and RBIs as a freshman in the regular season. 16 home runs, I think like 59 RBIs, something like that. And just a special player. Played in the Cape this past summer. I think he's preseason player of the year in our league, and he's got a chance to be a very, very special player coming out of our program, for many years to remember. So he starts with Pass, and then, I would say, Will Prater, being a fifth-year senior, COVID senior, hit over 400 in the regular season last year, which is very, very difficult to do. Leads off for us, plays second, started, he's, every year he's been here out of Atlanta, and really good player. And then, you've got Zach Ketterman at third base, who started as a freshman for us. We really feel like he's going to be coming on offensively, phenomenal defensive player, but offensively, I feel like he's going to really step up. And then at first base, we have Daniel Walsh, who is hurt right now. He's got a hamate that he broke a few weeks ago, so he's out for about the first 5 weeks of the season. And then, of course, we have Drew Needham, who was a freshman last year, does a nice job for us, no doubt, and going to be a big factor for us. And then James Henson, who's a junior college player that was an All-American in junior college last year, that is here, and he's a local kid from Smoky Mountain High School, and he's going to be a big factor there at first base also. So we feel really good about it. And, we lost a big bat in Luke Robinson, who graduated in the infield, but the rest of those guys are back, and then the addition of James.
Shifting out to the outfield, what returns and what do you have coming in that could see a significant role?
So we have some seniors returning. Seth Graves, played for us every day pretty much last year, hit over 300. He's a junior college All-American a couple of years ago before COVID or whatever, and then he's been here for like 3 years now. So experienced guy. He'll be playing left, center, right. He plays all over the place, switch hitter. Bryson Parks is a fifth-year senior who's played a lot for us. He's had some injuries. First half of the season, he hurt his shoulder diving for a ball and really didn't get to play until the end of the year, and really played well the last probably 3-4 weeks of the season. So we're excited to have him back. Dynamic center field, dynamic athlete out of Atlanta also. And then we'll have some new faces. I mean, Stowe, Big Stowe, we call him Stowe. He is going to be probably playing right field and hitting somewhere in the middle of our order. Nate is an excellent player. He's a freshman last year out of Raleigh, North Carolina, left-hand hitter with power. Probably hit somewhere 3, 4, 5 for us. And then we've got some players out there. Wilder is also a fifth-year senior who plays. He'll play a lot for sure. And we got some freshmen, CJ Rector. I mean, we've got Jordan Starks, who's a junior college transfer, also will be a big factor. So there's some options out there, but there's some veterans that'll be back, and then some younger guys we need to step up.
Obviously, pitching depth is something that is always such a big issue, but I mean, just in college baseball in general, but with a 4-game weekend, week one, just talk about your pitching depth, and specifically, let's start off with your rotation.
So that all starts with Zebby Matthews for me. Zebby was our number one, and probably, and I'm not speaking out of line here, would have been the pitcher of the year in our league. I mean, he was running up numbers that were outstanding, and then he got hurt at UNC Greensboro and did not finish the last, I think, month and a half of the season. So, having him back, having him healthy, and he is throwing very well right now. He's healthy. That's the top of the rotation. I mean, he went to the Junior College World Series at Walters State. I was one of their top pitchers there. And then, he's from Smoky Mountain High School, another local product. So from Cullowhee, grew up in Cullowhee. So we're excited about him being back at the top of our rotation. And then Eric Wallington is a left-handed pitcher that's been here for a while. He's had an up and down career, but we feel like he's on the right track. Threw really well against Louisville and Georgia this fall. Started both those games. He's a 6'6" lefty. Really talented kid, won a state championship in high school at TC, in Asheville. So, I mean, he's been there, he's done that, but he, at this level, he's wanting to make a name for himself, and it's all there. And I feel like he's going to this year. Very excited about where he's at. We have a freshman, Lucas Hartman out of Florida, big recruit that we feel like is going to be in our rotation as our 3. Very excited about him. Very, very, very competitive pitcher there. And then Gavin Mortensen, he was our Saturday guy last year as a freshman. He broke his arm and did not play basically for the entire, last 2/3 of the season. Came back in the tournament, but he was out for a while. Took a line drive off a bone, broke his arm. He was throwing really well for us before that. So he's back as a sophomore. So that's our 4, I would say, right now. And then we'll kind of go from there, maybe with, a freshman named Davis Mortland midweek. And those are probably our 5 guys, and then a bunch of guys in the middle. I would like to talk about our bullpen arm. We have Zach Franklin, who's been here for a long time. Probably should be playing pro ball, running some serious velocity up there, with the whole new COVID draft and all that. It's shocking that he's still here. He's graduated college, but he's back. He's very, very talented. He's been 95 to 98 in the preseason. What can I say? He's just a very good pitcher. He's had a good career for us, and looking for great things out of him too.
Otherwise, how do you see some of those? You mentioned the group as a whole, but who are some other names that we may see here early on?
Well, yeah, I think a couple sophomores have really, really taken it to another level. A kid named Nick Hyde is throwing the ball really well for us and will throw out of the bullpen for us. Carson Lauder is throwing the ball really well for us as a sophomore. And these guys, they had roles last year, but it wasn't, as powerful a role as it's going to be this year. Those guys, Dawson Elder's throwing really well out of the pen also. We feel like we have some depth there in the pen where, there's some guys, we can go. Of course, with a very, very veteran, 2 guys I have to mention for sure. Jacob Korn, he's a 5th-year COVID senior. He's thrown a lot for us. We use him as a flex guy in the middle. I mean, he starts some games. He's an opener. He'll close games. he just kind of does it all for us over his career. Same thing with Tristan Campbell. I mean, he does a lot of things for us. Starts, relieves. They'll throw 4 or 5 innings at a point. They're just very, very tough competitors, and they'll be big, big factors in our bullpen. But we feel like we can get deep into it. We do have a freshman out of Florida that's been throwing really well here lately, John McCormick. I've really been impressed with him. He's a 6'6" lefty out of Southern Florida. He's been really talented. I mean, up to 92, throwing the ball very well here lately. Did not have a strong fall, but has had a very strong preseason. So we're excited about him. And we feel like, Bubba, the thing with Western is this NC Promise that we have going right now. We have, in-state tuition's $1,000, out-of-state tuition's $5,000. So it's our little thing we got going right now where we can really get some pitching in here. And that's something that, we've been, a focus on. Say, hey, we've got the money now. We've got the scholarship money. So we want to spend a lot of it on pitching. And we've done that in the last couple of years. This just kicked in 2 years ago.
Yeah, no doubt. That's something that's you mentioned that unique aspect of Western Carolina, and that's something a lot of people that probably don't realize that can definitely be of benefit to you.
It's interesting. I mean, out-of-state full, like full situation. Let's say you're paying for everything out of pocket is, it was over $30,000, and now it's, around $18,000. So that is, with tuition only being $5,000 of that, which is unbelievable. So we've taken advantage of it. We've brought in some very good talent on the mound, and we feel like that's a difference maker potentially for us. It's a great opportunity.
Taking a look at your schedule, a few minutes ago, I mentioned Niagara coming in this weekend, supposed to play 4 games, and then you also have Illinois State. I know that's a very proud program that's had a lot of success out there in the Midwest, and then Stony Brook. You'll never forget that run they had several years ago where they went to Omaha, winning that super regional down at Baton Rouge and LSU.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we have 3 solid weeks of opponents coming in here that'll get us ready for our conference, later in the year and test us. And it's, exciting. My former player from Georgia Tech, Wally Crancer, is the associate head coach up there at Illinois State. And, he was coaching at Purdue. He came down. Now he's coming down again when he's at Illinois State. So excited to see Wally. And then, obviously their program, they know what they're doing. They do a good job. They've been to many regionals and stuff like that. And then, of course, Stony Brook. I've never played Stony Brook, but I've heard unbelievable things from good friends of mine, at St. John's. We played them a lot, and they always talk about how great Stony Brook is. And of course, Joe Panucci at East Tennessee State's a good friend of mine. And, Joe did a heck of a job over there when they went to Omaha. Now he's the head coach in our league. So, great respect for their program. Excited to see their brand of baseball and have them down here in the WE.
And another series I failed to mention that really stands out. They've struggled the last year or two, but very proud program, so much success, and that's the Houston Cougars. Going out there to play 3 against them.
Yeah, I fully expect them to be back, in that top, that nationally ranked situation. I mean, they have a lot of talent down there to recruit from, and the great state of Texas has produced some pretty good baseball players for sure. So we're excited about going down there. Their facilities are outstanding, and it should be a fun trip.
And tell us about the league. Obviously, always so strong. With the likes of Samford and a lot of quality programs.
Yeah, I think our league. I was 18 years in the ACC, and this league is, for me, is underrated. I mean, it's just a tough league. It's very, very competitive. A lot of people putting money into programs, and if you look year in and year out, this league will go places and play people, that are very, very have very good programs, and they'll, be very competitive or win series or stuff like that. So, I mean, our league is, top to bottom is a dogfight. It's a dogfight. I was looking at the standings. I think what they're projecting. I mean, Wofford, they're doing an unbelievable job. Todd runs a great program over there. Of course, Mercer. You mentioned Samford. I mean, Billy over there. obviously is an unbelievable baseball man at UNC Greensboro and East Tennessee State and Citadel and VMI. I mean, it's a good league. So it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be tough. There's a lot of good players coming out of our league, going into our league, and really good coaching. And we're excited about it. We feel like we're the SEC of the mid majors, if that makes sense.
And final thing for you, you talk about putting money into a program. I know that's something, as we were discussing off the air, that you're doing there in the administration and athletic department at Western Carolina. So tell us everything you have going on with the ballpark.
So big thing is, I don't know if you realize this, but Alex Gary was hired basically during the pandemic. And that year when we shut it down, Alex Gary played college baseball here at Western Carolina. So we were very, very excited about getting Alex back, a Catamount, a baseball Catamount. And then Kyle Pfeiffer is the deputy AD. He's directly in charge of baseball. And both those guys are former college baseball players. So they're very excited about college baseball and, doing everything they can to, help support the program and take it to another level and stuff like that. So that being said, we have put, about $140,000, $150,000 worth of, upgrades into our facility this fall. And, dugouts, turf, our home plate is all turfed. Donnie Suttle's one of our storied alumni. He's the vice president of field turf. He helped us with that project. So we have basically, like Mississippi State, if you've ever been there, it's the whole home plate circle is turf, and then the halo around it is turf, and it's just a really cool, always perfect surface to hit on, play on, pitch on, catch on, stuff like that. And then we have a brand new scoreboard. We basically have renovated our dugouts, upgraded those. All new padding, behind home plate, our rails, like the major league padding, stuff like that. It's just a pretty cool deal. Just all different things we're putting into the facility. And yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's been fun.
No doubt. And it's, 3 days away from first pitch. I know you and the guys are ready to get started. And as always, we appreciate your time and, look forward to having you back on down the road.
We appreciate you. I mean, doing this for, North Carolina baseball. And, I know there's so many great programs in this, this state. And, a guy like you getting the word out is awesome, Bubba. I appreciate that. We all do. And really an honor to be on this every year.
Appreciate everyone tuning in and listening, whether it's on, YouTube, Facebook, or any of those podcast platforms. There are so many, but we can be found pretty much anywhere podcasts are found. Remember, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we have all of these NCD1 baseball interviews saved there into one playlist. It makes it easy to access. So you can check those out between now and opening day and through the first week or two of the season as you're preparing yourself for the games that you're going to be following throughout the year. But for Western Carolina head coach Bobby Moranda, I'm Bubba Rosenbaum, and you've been watching and listening to The Sports Objective and our NCD1 baseball preview. Take care, everyone.